All right. Hi, welcome back to the Evolution with Mac and Jenn podcast. We are here today and we're super excited because, well, I'm excited because we actually missed last week. Did you realize that, Mac?
I did because we were in the process of upgrading.
Process of upgrading. And I can't remember exactly, but I think this is like maybe our 78th week of podcasting. I think 78 weeks. I think we've done 78 podcasts and um last week was the first time we've missed one.
Yeah, well, we didn't really miss it. We just decided not to do it.
Right. Well, the first week we didn't post one, but I'm totally okay with it because I feel like I like to not have pressure around doing like anything. And
Mhm.
so it just like last week it just didn't align for us to do one. And so it's just like, nah, it's okay. It's not the end of the world,
Yep.
right? Yeah, so we're back though, and I'm super excited because I actually really do love doing these podcasts with you, Mac.
Mhm.
And I love getting on here and just talking because I personally think it can be very therapeutic sometimes.
Yeah. So what are you going to talk about?
What are you going to talk about today, Mac?
Oh, well, we'll see because it usually starts one way and goes a different way. So, but I'm just happy to be here and we're in different locations. So I get to spend time looking into the eyes of my beautiful wife. So,
Yay. Yeah, because usually we're right next to each other, so when we're talking, we're not looking like directly at each other.
yep. So, I guess we're going to talk a little bit about holidays, managing expectations, managing all the different things, the goals, the desires, the craziness of it all. Where do you want to start? Any
Well, I just like the idea of just having a quick conversation a little bit of just like managing stress through the holidays because holidays can be a really stressful time for a lot of people because there's family obligations, there's um Christmas and events and just so much going on that a lot of us get really stressed and overwhelmed during the holidays and I feel like um what's the word? I feel like I personally know I do a really good job at managing my stress levels and just like kind of letting things go. And so I feel like it's just something important to maybe just talk about and maybe we could just share some tips on how we manage our own stress through the holidays so we can get through them with joy and ease as opposed to like chaos.
or pressure?
Chaos and pressure. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of how I let go of the what's the words? How I let go of the expectation to even do a podcast last week is how I feel sometimes around like the expectations during the holidays too.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think are the um, what do you think are most of the expectations that people have that they're dealing with, like a mom with making sure their kids are going to have a good Christmas, or the a guy providing the money, or what to do, or when he's got to show up, or what I mean, what do you think are the top ones people deal with?
I think we have this um expectation that stresses us out that we just want everything to be perfect. And this idea of trying to make everything perfect, but not just everything perfect, but everybody's moods perfect too. Like we want to manage the stress levels of everybody, and I think that can be stressful. So the idea of just making it perfect.
So like where Christmas starts to come around or Thanksgiving comes around, and it's like you want everybody to be happy and you want everybody to enjoy it, and then if somebody's unhappy, now you're screwed,
And
and often it's nothing to do with you.
and everything is ruined.
So how I mean, I think that's probably a pretty good one and probably pretty prominent for a lot of women, especially. Maybe some men here and there, just it's a different perspective from men. I think. I don't think men would say it that way. I think they would say it as in, um, if they feel pressure, it's more like I would say they get a little more in their heads about why can't you just appreciate what I do instead of put all this pressure on me when they're mostly putting pressure on themselves. But it just depends. So with when it comes to women, what do you think is the best way to manage that expectation around it's my fault or my problem if everybody else isn't happy and excited and feel good and that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, the way that I let go of attachment to perfection is just realizing that everything is perfect as is. One thing that's distracting me at the moment is every time I move, you can see the stuff behind my head and we're moving, or we just moved. And so do you see it, Mac?
Yes.
It's distracting me. I got stuff behind me. Um, but yeah, no, it's this letting go of an expectation that everything needs to be perfect, but just realizing that it is perfect the way that it is.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
So I feel like most of our frustrations come when we judge reality, meaning like we have an expectation that things are going to go one way, and if they don't go that way, then we judge it and we think that it's wrong. So like if the kids are going crazy or the turkey burns or things like that, if things don't go the way, or if the family gets into some sort of argument or something, rather than judging the situation, thinking it's supposed to be different, it's about letting go of attachment to that perfection and just realizing, no, this is perfect actually the way it is, and we're just being, redirected. And it's kind of about just learning to go with the flow rather than trying to force force our expectations to turn out. Does that make sense?
hmm the there's it seems like there's different stages in it because somebody might be listening to this and they're they're thinking, yeah, but you don't know my situation, or um, it's like everything goes well and then at the last minute everything goes sideways, and when they're in the moment they're triggered and they don't know how to like not care and or even say everything's perfect, so and so losing their shit is perfect. It's like no, it's not perfect. Like I don't know what you're talking about, it's
It's
not
not
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
think I think the other thing that is important to remember too is that like the more energy we expend, the more we need to take time to fill back up. Otherwise, in those moments when things aren't so perfect, so we don't explode because we're running on empty. So not only is like being mindful of your expectations a good way to make it easier to get through the holidays, but also taking time to make sure that your energy cup is full. So when things don't go as planned, you are not running on empty, just exploding over small things, right? And so during the holidays especially, it's even that much more important to make sure you're taking time to fill up your energy cup, even if it's just like Mac, and you might even say, well, some people listening to this may just say, well, you don't know my situation and I just don't have time to fill up my energy cup. Right? But sometimes filling up our energy cup can look like just taking, a couple extra minutes in the shower to just close our eyes and be present in the moment with the shower, right? It doesn't take a lot of energy to fill up your energy cup or a lot of time to do so. It's just making sure you take moments during the day to do so. That way, when something doesn't go as planned, you can handle it better because you're not running on empty.
Yeah, there's, I'm not when it comes to holidays, like I'm pretty chill. It's not, I've just never been one of those people that gets worked up over it. I'm like, it is what it is. If nothing happened, I would just be like, okay. But if I want something to happen, I just go make it happen. And so I'm probably one of the more laid back or chill, or even if people get crazy, I'm like, that's fascinating, Sometimes I don't want to deal with it or whatever, but we usually don't have much. I haven't really experienced much as far as crazy, but definitely seen things not go as planned. Been in situations that weren't planned. Been in dire straits type positions at different times where there just wasn't anything I could really do about the situation, especially some financial or relational type situations, distance situations at times. And so I've just kind of made the best of it. But with that being said, there's there's things that I think are important to remember. And I'm going to say this from a male perspective, like reminding the guys that it's not about how much money you can spend. It's about the quality of how you or things you can do, and it can be as simple as like, yes, everybody likes gifts and everybody, da da da, whatever. It can be fun. We like to give, but you got to if you're more financially stressed, then I see more. It's interesting because the people that are more financially stressed usually overspend and cause more stress. And it's like, why are you doing that? Because there's this impulse, there's this draw or whatever, and it's also sedation because when they just start spending and giving, they feel better about the shitty situation they're in, and then they overspend and want to recreate a shittier situation because they're trying to avoid it. Like they've got energy, this agitated energy around scarcity, and then they cover it up with the giving, but it actually just multiplies it because on the other end of it, what they're vibrating is scarcity. They're covering up the scarcity, but the vibration's still there. And so then on the other end of it in January, now they're in dire straits because now they've gone in more debt, whatever. They didn't manage their money right. And I would say, have a plan going in first. Like limit yourself. Don't create a worse situation on the other side. Create a plan and then be open to more. But the plan could be, I don't have the money. Like if we're just going to talk financially, and this kind of goes for people that are well off as well. It's not just about people with restrictions because they're like somebody that's well off and just buys a bunch of gifts. Fuck you, you suck. And I don't mean that in like because you can and somebody else can't. I mean that as in it's easy. That's easy for you. Like do something different, do something inspirational, do something that shows quality time. Give your emotional state, give your time, because if you're wealthy, then your time is your most valuable asset. And so you want to use your time for the giving instead of the financial thing. But if you are in a financial struggle, then you look at things and say, what really counts. And I'm going to throw this out there. I've said this before. I learned this lesson when I was 12 years old. I was doing a little work and I got this idea that I'd made a couple dollars, right? Like it wasn't much, but I kind of worked one day and I made like $12, and at my age at that time, that was a decent little bit of money. And so I hustled, and I think I might have even had a few bucks to start with. And then I was like, oh, well, what if I do this? And I was like hustling and well, can I do this? You pay me this much? Okay. Now what about this? Can you pay me this much? And I get all this money, right? And then I take the money and I go to the grocery store that had this little toy section. And at the time I had six or seven, well, I guess one of them was too young to know the difference. So probably six siblings at the time, and somehow I managed to spread that money out and buy these little gifts that were very intentional. So we're talking on average, I think one might have been three or 250 and one was 150 and whatever, but it was something that person could potentially enjoy. Remember, I'm 12 years old doing this. And so I give everybody the gifts, and I was blown away by watching everybody on Christmas unpackage all their presents and everything. And at the end of it, there's when I'm watching them use the gifts that they got, I saw more activity around the $2 gift than I did around the $200 gift, or 20 or 50 or whatever. There was just as much energy and activity put into it as the other stuff. And I was like, well, this is crazy. Like, what? It really fascinated me, and it made me realize certain things. And the more I get to know women, the more my time is more valuable. A little holiday spirit goes a long ways. Goes further than money. A healthy feminine, anyway. Put it that way. If you're being leveraged into a bunch of stuff, you may want to check things a little bit and put down the masculine a little more to say, no, let's turn this into something memorable, because you can buy anything in the world and it can be forgotten like that. But if you create an experiences will be remembered for a long time. And in the past, I always kind of just went, holidays are what they are. Like, I don't really care for them, because if I want to do something special, I just go do it. So it's not important. But having Jen, my wife, in the mix, and she enjoys it, I'm inspired to actually do more for it, more quality time, little things that, like, I'm just naturally inspired because I see that feminine fire start to like come up here and there, and then I'm like, ooh, what about this? Or I spot something, or I think of something, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm enjoying the shit out of it more than I ever have in my life. So there's just remember that for men, it's the quality, and the quality could be the time, the quality could be the energy. Just be smart about it. Be smart about your finances. If you're tight, find little ways that you don't need to do those things. Like little kids will tell stories about how they were camping in their living room and think it's amazing, and the parents are dead broke, and that's why they're camping in the living room, because the heat's off, or something crazy, and they'll remember it for life, and it will be a good experience. So it's your energy around the matter that actually makes the difference.
One of the things that I try to focus on is my intention.
Mhm.
So like one of my intentions just in life in general is to create magical moments and memories. And so, of course, I want to take that into the holidays too. So everything that we do, it's about magical moments and creating like magical moments and memories. So it's like even when we're decorating our Christmas tree, like try to make it, have be cute and fun with it. If I'm gonna make hot cocoa, like it's gonna be a moment. Like we're gonna get the whipped cream and I'm gonna put some sprinkles on it. Like it's gonna be cute, right? And so it's just like those little magical moments and memories. I'm excited to, go to the parade with you guys. I mean, who really wants to go stand in the cold, right? But it's gonna be a magical moment and it's gonna be fun. And especially, I think it is the more feminine thing to do, I think, to focus on making every moment magical and special um, because we are the ones that, I feel like it's kind of our job to bring us all to the moment, especially because masculine energy is go, go, go all the time. That, feminine energy is a little bit slower and it's like, let's be here now. And so just creating like little moments and memories, and I'm super excited. And I'm actually like picking Cameron up, pretty soon today, and I'm gonna take him shopping. And I'm gonna give him a little bit of money, and he's going to buy you a little present. He's going to buy Brett a little present, and he's gonna buy me a little present with the money.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I just think it's gonna be really like fun and good. And so not only are we gonna go get these little gifts, but Cameron and I are going to have some magical moments and memories today, just shopping for them. And it's going to be fun and we're going to make it, it gets to be fun, right? But not only like do I get to make a magical moment in memory with him today, but I feel like it's going to be fun for him to pick out and like give,
Yeah.
because he doesn't always, I mean, he's only 11, so, and I know he gets a little bit of money here and there, but I don't think he saves up to buy Christmas presents yet. So I'm going to give him a little, but give him the opportunity to like pick them out, wrap them, and like give them so he feels that like
He
the
gets to give.
he gets to give. And I'm
Yeah.
really excited about it. And I'm not just excited that he's going to like that I'm it's going to be for you, his dad, and me.
Yeah. One of the, I'd say one of the best gifts, well, actually, maybe the only gift that I actually remember, straight up remember getting from one of my kids. My stepdaughter wrote out a bunch of things once on like, um, I'm thankful for this when you do this. And it was very specific. And it's like, it's one of my most valuable treasures,
Mhm.
so that's a big deal. It'll get me emotional just thinking about it. Um, but I wanted to touch on something that I kind of have to do this weekly, and I think it's important for women and men to think about this during the holidays as well. When you're trying to get everything done, there's usually limited time. We're all in a hurry. We're all in a rush. Uh, Before I go there, I want to come back. I want to go back to um, you. You brought up a feminine thing as far as like you wanted to create memories and stuff. And we kind of had a different plan this month on what was going to happen and everything else. And then you said, well, hold up, I want to do this. And it completely changed the plans and like, oh, like I'm not sure I like the plan, but I understand the plan. And it was truly based around you kind of looking at it and saying, if I don't voice this, I'll be mad at myself for not at least voicing it and seeing if we could work this out because this is what I want to do. And you did it in a very, very soft, feminine way. And instead of me trying to look at it and be like, well, I don't know this, that, or anything else, it was cherishable. And it was like, this is what my wife wants. And so I was like, this is what I'm going to give her. I'm going to make sure she gets this moment or whatever. And so I completely changed everything, said, okay, I'll make it work. And it's going to be great. So respect to the feminine side and to be able to cherish you in that. But the other side, and if you're listening, what I'm trying to tell you is when you have a feeling of something you want, voicing it in a feminine way. And if you don't know what that is, you need to talk to Jen. She will show you, she will tell you all those things. But her ability to communicate that in a feminine way is why she gets what she wants. And even though sometimes she doesn't, because it's like, oh, it's no, it's that, it's just me. It's like, no, no, let's just put it out there. That she feels safe enough to put it out there and then gets what she wants or we come to an understanding or whatever. So remember to voice those internal feelings or thoughts or feel at least let yourself feel them and express them. Um, the other point that I was trying to make was every week I feel like there's too much to do every week. And often I wind up leaving. I'm leaving state, I'm going somewhere else, and I just have to turn it off. I just have to say whatever I get done to this point is how it's going to be. And when I come back, I'll start fresh. And I think during the holidays, it's almost a day-to-day thing. Oh, I want to get the Christmas lights up. I want to do this. Then I need to do this. Then I need to do that. And at the end of the day, you kind of just have to tell yourself, wherever I get to today, I'm done. And I'll make a new plan for tomorrow. Because if you start stacking the day-to-day stuff of all the thoughts that you have on what you want to do, you're going to feel like all you did was break all your commitments and you feel miserable about the progress that you made, even though you made a ton of progress. If you really look at it, if you zoom out and be like, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did all this stuff. But if you go, oh, I got to get this done today, and one thing doesn't get done, so then you push it to tomorrow, but you already had a plan for tomorrow. So now you got more to try to do tomorrow. And now you're stressed out trying to get all that done. And then two things don't get done that day, and then two things the next day. And pretty soon you have this compound effect of you suck and life sucks, right? Don't do that. Give yourself permission to say whatever is done at this time is done, and I'm going to let go whatever else, and then I'll see what I can do the next day or the next week or whatever it is. and the self-care part. Do you want to touch on that real quick and then we'll jump off here?
Like, what do you mean touch on the self-care part?
Um, for the women,
Hmm.
like
Well,
truly, like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no,
Well,
it's
I was just gonna say, like, I did actually, like, I felt like there was a lot I wanted to get done today. And
mhm,
so, like, I actually made a little list for today. And all I put on the list were things that I felt like were like musts.
mhm,
And everything else aside from the must, if they either they get done today if they get done, and if they don't, they don't, and it's like totally fine. I'm not going to worry about it. But like I had just a couple musts today, and like and I make it easy for myself. So it's like, but yesterday, a must for me was not to put up any Christmas lights outside. But then yesterday I got done with, some stuff I wanted to do and I had a little extra time and I was like, let's throw some Christmas lights on the railing. That's fine. And it was great. So it's like just some must though. So my list today was literally like shower, church, podcast, pick up Cameron, go shopping. As far as wrapping or any of the like little things here and there, I'm not even gonna worry about any of that today. Like I just want to get these things done today and if we have extra time to do more, we will. And and if we don't end up getting like we almost didn't get to this podcast,
yeah,
but we are, and we have about 4 minutes left because I do need to get going, but it's like even if we hadn't have gotten to this podcast today, like, you know, we would have just pushed it off to tomorrow and I just would have been like, it is what it is. I guess it just wasn't in the plan for today, It was just so it's just like kind of letting go of attachment and just allowing things to happen and making like setting yourself up for success to win. As far as self-care stuff, um I don't know. Like yesterday, I took an hour-long bath. I just made time for it. Um, and I was talking to another lady who said, like, I'm feeling more depressed right now than ever. How do I get through the holidays without feeling depressed? And I said, really be mindful of what you're focusing on. Make sure you make time to, get outside and breathe in like fresh air and go for a walk. Um, and when you're walking, like look out far distances. It's supposed to help with your mood. Um, Self-care could be just like getting up and drinking a large glass of water, right?
yeah,
But self-care can really be anything that you do that you take a moment while you're doing it and just say to yourself, like, I'm doing this for me.
yeah. And for me, if there's ever times when I get like lower or depressed, usually what I'll do is it's it's a little bit of avoidant type behavior, but it kind of pushes you through it. And I just know the difference on like when to go into it and when to stay out of it. And if it's like depressed or lonely or something, then I just go do something. I don't care what it is. I'm just going to go do something physical as fast as hard as I can. Now, on the other end, if everything is great and everything else, for the guys especially, make some decisions to do something random. Treat the family, treat people, treat your friends or whoever's close to you. Do some random stuff to just go and surprise them. It doesn't matter what it is. Just be like, well, I want to do this. Let's go do it. Well, why do you want to do that? Let's go. Just make the decision and go do it. Everybody enjoys it when you do that. It's just being a leader and a man, and everybody kind of follows and does it. So trust the process and have some fun with it.
It's really depression really is when you're really like inward focused.
Mhm.
And so one of the things you can do is just do what you can to start doing for other people. Even if it's just like, I'm just going to send a text message and tell somebody how much I appreciate them and I'm thinking about them. And like putting your energy like outward um to give to others is how you kind of battle that like internal, because when you're depressed, it's all about me. But when you are focused outwardly, then you feel better. Like giving and contributing to others, whether it's time, energy, whatever, is one of the best things you can do for your spiritual um, what's the word, Mac? Your
Yeah,
spiritual being.
yeah, your inner being. And you could just simply write a letter. Just I'm just going to sit down and write you a letter for no good reason other than I feel like I'm going to write you a letter because you're giving to the other person.
Yeah,
So
I
make
like
it
that.
simple. We got to run.
Hmm.
Keep your head up. Think high. Remember, let go daily. Take care of yourself. Do what you got to do to feel good. Have some fun. Mix it up. Do all these great, amazing things, and we will see you next time. But if you're looking for a little more community to be able to, you know, get with like-minded people that have the same struggles as you, deal with the same stuff. Everybody wants to be a little fitter. Everybody wants to make a little more money. Everybody wants a little better relationship. And you're looking for some way to raise that up. You want more and you want to raise it up. Look hard at our membership. There's people coming in all the time, learning more. A lot of people that just they don't necessarily show up on the calls, but they listen in, and once in a while we get to talk to them one-on-one, check in, see how they're doing. And everybody's winning. Like some people doubled their income in the last year, or made significant gains, or found a relationship. And I think one of your clients is now engaged, and so all this crazy stuff happening just by plugging into a community and a system. So take advantage of it. If you want to know more about it, reach out to one of us.
And
And
it's really about being mindful of your energy. And
yeah,
there's a really great training back there in the back office for all the members on literally how to deal with like friends and family that you don't see eye to eye with always,
the
which is
toxic one, is that it?
it's the one that I t right hand, left hand.
Oh yeah.
But it's literally like if you're going to be spending time with family this year for the holidays and you typically don't always get along with them or don't feel super supported by them, this training is for you. So that's
Yeah.
just a little plug in there. But all right, so should I end this?
Yep. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.